Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Board of Adjustment meeting. Today is Friday, December 9th. We do not have a chair or vice chair yet. So first, I'm going to turn it over to Nick Kalergis, who will let members of the public know how they may participate via Zoom. And then we'll jump right into the election of chair and vice chair.
Thank you, Michael, and good morning to the members of the board and the members of the public who are watching the meeting, well, I guess virtually today. Today's meeting of the Board of Adjustment will be conducted in a hybrid format with members of the board physically present in the Commission Chamber at Miami Beach City Hall and applicants, staff, and members of the public appearing either in person or virtually via Zoom. To participate virtually in today's meeting, members of the public may dial 1-877-853-5257 and enter the webinar ID, which is 828-6961-5309#, or log into the Zoom app and enter the webinar ID, which again is 828-6961-5309. Anyone wishing to speak on an item must click the raise hand icon in the Zoom app or by dialing *9 if they're participating by phone. Next, I'd like to read the city's notice regarding lobbyist registration. If you're appearing on behalf of a business, a corporation, or another person, you need to register as a lobbyist with the city clerk's office. If you haven't registered yet, you should register before you speak to the board. You don't have to register as a lobbyist if you're speaking only on behalf of yourself and not any other party, or if you're testifying as an expert witness, providing only scientific, technical, or other specialized information or testimony in this public meeting, or if you're appearing as a representative of a neighborhood association without any compensation or reimbursement for your appearance, to express support of or opposition to any item. Expert witnesses and representatives of neighborhood associations shall, prior to appearing, disclose in writing to the city clerk their name, address, and the principal on whose behalf they are communicating. If you're an architect, attorney, or employee representing an applicant or an objector, you must register as a lobbyist. These rules apply whether you're appearing in favor of or against an item, or encouraging or arguing against its passage, defeat, modification, or continuance. Lastly, I'd like to swear in anyone who will be testifying today, including staff. Please raise your right hands. Do you swear that the testimony you'll give in this proceeding is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
With that, if I could ask for, we're going to do nominations for the chairman.
I nominate Michael Goldberg as chairman.
Do you have a second for that nomination? Second. Do you accept that nomination?
I do, and I'm honored to accept it. Thank you.
Do we have any other nominations? Seeing none, can we approve Mr. Goldberg as the chair by acclamation?
Aye.
Seeing no objections? Congratulations, Mr.
Congratulations.
Goldberg. You can move to the chairman's seat.
Thank you. I want to just take a minute of personal privilege as a chair. Really honored to do this as a second generation. Mr. Nagler was just saying this. If you become chair, it's going to be two generations of the Goldberg family that I am on the board and chair of. But I do want to thank Richard Siegel for his service. Richard served 7 years on this board, the last 2 as chair, and did a great job. And Richard has stepped up even more in the community, and I'm proud to say as a past chair of the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce, Richard is the chair-elect of the chamber, and in a year will be taking over the chamber. So I want to thank Richard, and it behooves me not to mention his previous successor who was on this board for 26 years, my father, Bart Goldberg, of which I believe the last 3 or 4 that he actually chaired. So it's a privilege. You know, our family love this community, and we will continue to serve it. So thank you very much, board, for this honor. I'd also like to welcome Mr. Silvers to the board. Good to see you. With that being said, we need to have a vice chair. So I'd open it up for any nominations for a vice chair.
I nominate Dan Nagler.
Okay, we have Ms. Malikoff nominating Mr. Nagler. Do I hear a second? Can I second as a chair? Or?
Sure.
Yes.
I'll second that.
Do we have
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Congratulations.
All right, Mr.
Congratulations.
Nagler, you've got to have my back now. Okay.
Thank you so much. That's very kind. Thank you.
So thank you so much again. Honored to do this. So, Mr. City Attorney, you took half of my notes because I had all that written down and had to go back because we're rusty. We haven't had a meeting since January, so I went back last night and looked at some old meetings, and you took half of my notes. I'm just going to cross them out and go straight into the meat of this. So, thank you very much, Mr. City Attorney. Let me go through each one of these as appropriate. There's no city attorney updates because you've already done that and you swore in the public. I do have one question, Mr. City Attorney. For people that want to call in and are on Zoom, we swear them in at that time, right?
That's correct, so that we have their oath on the record.
Okay, and then if we have any participants here, we would always swear them all in together. I know that changed with now.
That's right.
To the format, just wanted to make sure. Excellent. Do we have any requests for continuance or withdrawals?
No, we do not.
Any requests for extensions of time?
No, we do not.
Discussion items?
None,
Progress report?
none,
Modification of previously approved board order?
none,
Open and continued items?
none.
Okay, great. With that being said, we have 2 applications today, board members, so we should get through this pretty quickly. They're pretty straightforward. I'll ask you, staff, to go ahead and introduce the first one, which would be ZBA 22-0140.
Mr. Chair, before we do that, I believe we forgot to take up the after action from the January meeting.
Oh, you know what?
Time.
See, because I,
Sorry, we were out of order on that. Yes.
thank you. Okay, I'll chalk that up to our first meeting mistake. You're absolutely right. So let's go back for a minute. And actually, on the attendance, Mr. Belush, is that normally, I've seen it done different ways. Do you normally do a
Yes,
call?
I'm just going to go through the members present here today.
Perfect, thank you.
We have 5 of 6 members present, including Andres Ession, Daniel Nagler, James Silvers, Joy Malakoff, and the chairman, Michael Goldberg. Jeffrey Aronson is absent today, and we have 1 vacant position.
And actually, let me go ahead and backtrack, and again, I apologize for missing this, it will not happen again. You have the minutes to our last meeting, which was January 7th, 2022. I'd like to ask if there's any changes that need to be changed on that. If not, I would ask for a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Malakoff, second by Mr. Silvers. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Those minutes are approved. Okay, so let's go ahead, and if you could, Mr. Belush, go ahead and introduce our first item on the
Sure,
agenda.
thank you. So the first application on the agenda is ZBA 22-0140. This is 6437 North Bay Road. This is an application requesting a variance from the front yard setback requirements in order to construct a new single-story addition to an existing 2-story home. Now, the code requires a front setback of 20 feet, and the applicant's requesting a variance to construct a small addition with a setback of 12 foot 4 inches. Now, this home along North Bay Road has existing setbacks that range from 12 foot 4 inches, which is for the garage, to 18 foot 7 inches, which is the current setback of the area where the addition is proposed. As the subject area already includes a tiled floor and covered roof, the applicant's just proposing to enclose that with a wall and window configuration. Due to the minimal impact that this would have on the site and surrounding properties, staff is supportive of the variance request and is recommending approval. And I believe we have the applicant online. Robert, are you there?
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Robert. Do you swear that the testimony you'll give in this proceeding is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You have 10 minutes for your presentation.
I'm representing Ron and Kelly Bernstein. They bought this 1940s house. It's on an unusual triangular-shaped property, and at the time it was built versus current zoning setbacks, the site is very non-conforming. But we're not really asking to do any sort of major addition. What we're trying to do is infill a wall within the same perimeter of the existing house. We're not changing any roof lines. We're not overall trying to add any major square footage. I think we're talking about like 30-something, 40-something square feet, basically making an air-conditioned corridor connection between the main house and the garage. The garage currently has a bedroom above it. So now that connection, instead of being outside, would be inside through an air-conditioned corridor. And if you look at the presentation, it's basically a simple wall with some windows and a door. We're going to add some wall sconces, trying to make the area, little courtyard area in front of that area nicer. But we're not truly trying to go beyond the boundaries of the existing house. Beyond that, I think it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, I'll ask at this point, are there any disclosures from the board? Okay, any questions for staff?
I'd have a comment.
Okay, Ms. Malakoff?
I live directly across the street on Pine Tree Drive from this house. So I walked over to look at it, and I did have the opportunity to speak to neighbors, and they had no objections. The immediate next-door neighbor had no objection. I was concerned that enclosure might affect him. It doesn't at all. It's fine.
Okay, great. Thank you for that, Ms. Malakoff. Any question for the applicant, board? I think it's pretty straightforward. With
Mr.
that-
Chairman, just to clarify here, we have to take public comment, but there's nobody present in the audience, and there's nobody online with their hand raised. So if the board could close the public comment.
Yeah, actually, and I did have that, see? I'll get it next time. I did have that in my notes to open up the public meeting. If there's no comments, I'd say we'll go ahead and close the public meeting. With that being said, are there any motions by the board? Motion to approve. Mr. Silvers, do I hear a second?
Second?
Second by Ms. Malakoff. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The
Motion carries 5-0.
Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Kerr.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's keep going with our second one. Give me a second to get to that one. Okay, the second item is ZBA 22-0141, 400 West 44th Street. Mr. Belushi, if you can go ahead and introduce that item.
Sure, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is an application requesting a variance from the accessory structure separation requirements in order to construct a new two-story addition connecting an existing two-story home with an existing two-story accessory structure. Now, this existing house was originally constructed in 1937 and has been formally classified as architecturally significant. This classification allows homeowners to take advantage of certain incentives, including increased lot coverage, increased unit size, and reduced interior setbacks. The applicant is proposing to construct a new two-story addition between the main home and the existing accessory guest house. The city code does require a 5-foot separation between those structures, and that's why the applicant's before you today. In consideration of the fact that this is an architecturally significant home and the location of the proposed addition has the least impact on the existing house, staff is supportive of the minimal variance that's being requested. With that, we are recommending approval in accordance with the conditions outlined in the draft final order, which can be found in the board packages. With that, I'll turn it over to Susanna Correa from the applicant.
Proceed, Ms. Correa. Are you on?
And good morning, Susanna. Do you swear that the testimony you'll give in this proceeding is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Susanna, I think you're on mute.
Okay, can you hear me right now?
Yes, just a second.
Oh, right.
Good morning, Susanna. Do you so swear?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You have 10 minutes for your presentation.
Hi, how are you? I'm Susana Correa, one of the architects in charge of the project. I'm representing Rhonda Mitrani and Todd Bushman, the owners of the property. As Michael mentioned, we are applying for a variance for a non-conforming 5-feet separation of a structure, of accessory structure. I don't know if you are seeing the presentation.
Would you like to bring up the presentation? We can do that.
Okay.
Here it is.
Let's see. Okay, perfect. So, next page, so you can see the property right now has the main house, like a two-story main house and a two-story accessory house. So the idea is to make a two-story addition between both structures. Next. So here you can see the proposed addition is like a 810 10 square footage. Next. Well, we already did all the lot coverage and unit size calculations, and we are complying with this. We have no problem with that. Next. Next. We can go, I think, to the end. So well, here right now you can see an existing picture of the house. So you will see the space where the addition goes. Next. And this is an existing terrace on the second floor that we're doing another addition, but it's not part of the variance. Next. That's the 16 roof. Next. Okay, so now you can see the proposed floor plan. So we're gonna have on the first floor the living room between the both structures. And next. And right now, on the second floor, we're gonna have a 1 bedroom and 2 bathrooms. And we are doing also an interior renovation on the main house. Next. That's the existing, how we are connecting the existing roof with the new one. Next. So here on the top, you can see the existing facade and then the new facade. So you can see how the guest house is gonna be raised a little bit to get the same elevation as the main house. Next. That's the rear yard, the west elevation. You can see the addition. Next. That's the front elevation of the house. So here you don't see the new addition, only the second floor addition on the existing terrace on the left. And next. So that's the main facade that we are renovating. So on the top, you can see the existing guest house that has a different level of the elevation of the main house. So the idea is to raise the second floor on the guest, so we can have the same finished floor elevation on the second floor. Next, well, that's schematic sections. And next, I think the end of the last page has like a 3D, that one. So that's the main facade that is gonna be affected. And that's it.
Thank you. Are there any disclosures from the board? Okay. Any questions for staff? Okay. Any questions for the applicant?
No?
Okay, Mr. Silvers?
I'm addressing the architect.
Mr. Silvers, I think your mic is not on.
Okay, thank you. I have a question for the architect. You're trying to connect two existing buildings with the same height in the design. Have you thought about changing the roof line, whether up or down, concerning the addition to create and break up the roof line of being such a square box building?
Yeah, the problem is the interior elevation, the stairs. So no. After reviewing all the project, we decided that this is the best option for the addition. Like continue the pitch roof.
Yeah, but you have the opportunity to create a little bit more interest than just continuing the box. And I think you have some, I think you have some height flexibility.
Yeah, we have some height limitations as well.
Susanna, so I think that's a very good point. And we had also recommended that they provide a change in plane along the elevation, which they're doing.
Exactly.
So I think that in combination, we
Right.
can add a condition
Right.
that there be a change in the roof line for either the middle or the accessory structure to break up that roof line. I think
Yeah,
that's a good
I
suggestion.
agree with that because I was going to make, that was my second comment, to break up the plane, front and back, so it just breaks up the massing. I think that's important at this point, to enhance the
Yeah,
building.
we did that option, but it looked like a kind of weird. Yeah, that's why we continue the
Well,
same.
the interest is in the front, it's more so, it's the effect of the street, the streetscape, the street elevation. I mean, you
touching the front.
can do what you want in the back. I mean, the back, he really needs to break up the massing, rather than just a big box. So my suggestion is to break the plane on a plan.
Yeah, I think that's a minor condition. I can work with the architect.
Okay, and also the roof line,
Mhm.
to break up the roof line, create some sort of feature that enhances the building design.
Okay,
If we have a motion, we'll, try and incorporate that into the motion. Mr. Belushi, would that be the proper way?
Yes, any motion
forward
could
with this.
include a recommendation to include that.
Thank you, Mr. Silvers, for those comments. Any more comments by the board or questions? Okay, with that being said, anyone would like to put a motion on the floor?
Just to clarify again, I want to make sure we note that we have no public comment. There's nobody in the audience and nobody online, just wanted
Right,
to.
open
put that in the
public
record.
comment, there's no comment, nobody on Zoom. Okay, close the public comment. Like to entertain any motions at this time?
I'll make a motion subject to the conditions that I've specified.
Okay, Mr. Silvers, motion, you want to just clarify, Mr. Belushi, please, so everyone knows what the additional condition will be?
Yeah, so that's to create a separation in the roof line between the existing structure and the proposed addition, as well as a change in plane along the elevation that faces the street.
So
Do they have to-
That's accept- yeah.
Do they have to come back to
No,
us or
no,
no?
this is just
Beautiful. Okay,
at staff
great.
level.
That'd
yes.
be done administratively.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, so we have a motion by Mr. Silvers, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Asian, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right,
Thank you so much.
congratulations, thank you for your flexibility, we appreciate it.
no problem, bye.
And just to let everybody know, there will not be a meeting in January, but most likely we will have an application for February.
So, yeah, thank you, and I was going to actually entertain that. Also, I had spoken to Gabby before, and if you can email out the dates that we have for next year, just so everybody can block it off in their calendars. And of course, if there's not an item, staff will let us know that there's no need to have a meeting. Is there any other business at this time?
No other business.
Okay, with that being said, motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion, Mr. Silvers, second. Second by Ms. Malakoff. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, staff, for a successful first meeting under my
Thank you all and
chairmanship.
happy holidays.
I'll get better, I promise. Happy holidays, everybody. Happy New Year.
Gotta open and close that public.